Good morning. Welcome to the bird's nest. Well, I accidentally deleted my last video yesterday, so I'm gonna have to recap it a little bit here, just a little. But before I get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe for all your NFL recap, news, and gossip. Recaps. So just to recap what I said the other day, because I need to keep him on Front Street, that boy Kevin Stefanski. We found out on Monday, thanks to an article in The Athletic written by Jason Lloyd, prolific Shedeur Sanders hater. Basically, Stefanski is in damage control. And because of the rep brouhaha, the rep scandal. Now it's a scandal. Because of that, he's trying to clean things up. And I guess his primary, or the way he kicked that off was to have Jason Lloyd report that his plan was for Shedeur to never play this season. They called it a red shirt. I call it benching. They didn't tell Shedeur. They didn't tell anybody. They couldn't tell anybody that they were benching him for the season. And although Jason didn't say that's the reason why he didn't get reps. That's the reason they trying to make it seem like he didn't get reps. I ain't stupid. Ain't nobody stupid. So the reason that does not explain away Shedeur not getting reps is because Jimmy Haslam said 3 times that Shedeur will be playing this season so he can be evaluated. So it doesn't matter that Kevin Stefanski is now trying to say that his plan was to redshirt Shedeur without even seeing him, without comparing him to Dylan. How do you decide from the minute he's traded that you're going to redshirt him and not Dylan without taking into consideration which one of them was the better player? So that was never going to work with me. That was never going to work. Because Jimmy Haslam said he was playing 3 times. I can remember. He said it out of his mouth on the camera at a presser. Sorry. Almost backed up into somebody. I ain't see him. I'm trying to see him, but they were so up for me I couldn't see their lights. Anyway. That was the first step. Yesterday, or it might have been the day before, I saw it yesterday. Somebody put out, because people be like, Stefanski doesn't even speak to Shedeur on the sidelines. So they showed him comforting Shedeur on the sideline. And talking to Shedeur on the sideline. He touched him. I ain't never seen him touch Shedeur before. So I don't think that was damage control, because the rep story had, well, the Cleveland media been hammering about him about the reps. So it's not even just the reps. The Cleveland media in those pressers, even though Mary Kay and Tony Grossi, those are really the only ones of the beat reporters that he's been feeding negative information about Shedeur to. Even Mary Kay has been pressuring him all season about Shedeur not getting reps. And but another problem that I noticed weeks ago, I be teasing Daniel Oyefise or whatever. That's not how you say it, and I ain't figured it out. I mean, I know how to say it, it's just I don't remember it, how it's spelled, so that I can sound it out. Anyway, I be teasing Daniel because every time he posts a clip of Stefanski, he never says Shedeur's name. So every time he posts one, and it would be multiple, it was just because he never said his name. It would be multiple. I would be teasing Daniel and putting Shedeur equals all the guys, all the young guys. He would never say Shedeur. So the Cleveland media started talking about that. Not because I said it, but I don't know. They just noticed it. It just came a point where you just notice that anytime he talks about Shedeur, he tries to get past it quickly, and he never says his name. So the Cleveland media started saying he never says his name. He won't even say his name. That was another thing. He cleaned that up. So now he's saying Shedeur's name a lot. Shedeur, Shedeur, Shedeur. And then they put out the video of him comforting Shedeur on the sideline. But you know what? One thing about Shedeur reminds me of myself and many, many others, where our face betrays our emotions. We can't even help it. Like, the best example is workplace scenarios where you have to maintain your composure even if you are unhappy, upset, angry, whatever. You have to maintain your composure. But some of us, like me, I will maintain my composure and I won't say anything wrong, but it'll be written all over my face. I don't have to say a word. Shedeur's the same way. I told y'all in my previous video that I deleted that it seemed to me like Mary Kay was warming up to Shedeur. And I believe that. Because I don't know that she disliked him. I don't think she disliked him. Like, from her, I didn't get dislike. It was disrespect, but it was at the behest of Stefanski and Tommy Rees. We be putting it all on Stefanski, but Jason said it was Tommy and Stefanski. So, you know, those narratives that she was putting out was what they were telling her. But now, she passed that. And I could tell she was warming up to him, but when I watched it again, I don't think he warmed up to her yet. He doesn't smile when he talks to her. If she asks him a question, he does not smile. And at the last presser, she almost got the last question, and I don't think Shedeur liked that. So he told whoever was running the presser, let's get 2 more questions. He didn't want Mary Kay having the last one. Same thing when Stefanski was touching him. I have mentioned in other videos, and y'all have probably seen it, that Shedeur is very touchy-feely. Very. He's always touching people. Whether it be hard or soft, he's always touching people. And Kevin Stefanski touched him, and he looks people in the eye, too. And he didn't look at Kevin. He didn't even make eye contact with him. So, I don't know what Kevin's doing. If he's trying to turn things around, if he's trying to embrace Shedeur, or at least look like he's trying to embrace Shedeur, because Shedeur and Dylan were not friendly before. They were competing, they were competitive against each other, and they were not really friendly. But now they are. Things do change. I don't know if Stefanski can change the way he thinks. Somebody had mentioned, Cam Ward mentioned that there's a cultural disconnect between Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur, and I believe that. And they were talking about it, I think, on Speakeasy, and Acho was pointing out the difference, the culture, the hip-hop culture. Like, the black culture is not just hip-hop culture, right? So, whatever the disconnect is with Stefanski is the hip-hop culture-ish of it, I think. Because if he didn't have a problem with that, he would have drafted Jackson Dart. But he didn't. Jackson Dart is white, but he is chock full of flavor. He's got flavor all up and through him, and he wears necklaces just like Shedeur. And he dances in the end zone. So that's not what Stefanski likes. He don't like that. I don't think he likes it. That's what I think. I don't think it's a race thing. It's a flavor thing. He didn't like Baker Mayfield either, and he also has flavor. So he don't like that. That's what I think. I don't know. But it seems like even if they're not really warming up to Shedeur, they're trying to make it seem like they are. And if they do that, eventually they're going to warm up to him. And yes, he's confident as hell. And he be putting y'all on blast on the low. It don't even really be on the low, but he be saying it nice. But he says what needs to be said. He does say it. Just like Teller said it. So that's the recap. They trying to clean stuff up because the media is on his booty. That brings us to Shedeur on Sunday. He is at a disadvantage because with 1 week of prep, Shedeur got to go out there. Everybody feels this. Like, everybody can feel that Kevin Stefanski does not like Shedeur. Everybody in the media, they're saying it out loud. They can tell. We know. You don't like him. Okay. You made that abundantly clear. So everybody feels very strongly across the board. I ain't heard nobody say nothing different. That Shedeur got to ball out this game, or Kevin Stefanski is going to put Dillon Gabriel right back out there. All of us thinking that they were going to get an even number of games. No, clearly that was not the plan for anybody. Even Jimmy Haslam has not put his foot down yet. I got a sneaking suspicion that he will. That this will not be Shedeur's last game. But everybody is kind of accepting that if he doesn't ball out, Stefanski going to take him out. Because Stefanski doesn't like him. And I know people don't like it, but the more I see how men are with their athletes, whether it be their coach or their father, the more I adapt their way of thinking. I ain't feeling sorry for Shedeur. I'm not babying him. He has to be who he says he is. He need to be that. So, what Sean King said, the elite players reveal themselves quickly. So, although I do acknowledge that it's not fair that he's got to come out there and ball out better than Dillon ever has with 1 week of reps. I acknowledge that that is unfair. But Shedeur said he's legendary. He said he's him. He said in his presser, I know I'm the guy. I know he's the guy too. He got to prove it, and there can't be any excuses. Dion kind of sort of is like, it's not just up to him. And that is true. But I think if you target the wide receivers enough, like, you're going to have to put up with the drops. Like, y'all going to have to budget for the drops. Target them enough so that they will catch enough to make some points. Like, they got to come up with a plan for their weaknesses. They did it against Miami. They beat Miami. So, O-line got to play lights out. No matter how much they suck, they got to try not to suck as much as possible. Receivers. Shedeur, he's going to have to, unfortunately, they're going to have to plan for this. Although Shedeur loves a deep ball. Shedeur at Colorado will just throw multiple deep balls. He can't do that. He's not even going to have the opportunity to do that. You can't do that so many times that you're constantly caught in the pocket because you're waiting for the big play. So he can't do that. He's going to have to use Quinshawn and Fannin and Njoku if he plays. I think Njoku had a limited practice yesterday or the day before. I don't know if I saw the report yesterday. Anyway, he's gonna have to take advantage of some screens, some check downs. You know, he's gonna have to do some short passes mixed in with his long passes. But there has to be enough long passes. You got to target Judy enough to compensate for the fact that he may drop some of the balls. And somebody driving and not passing. Y'all know I don't like that. So that's what it is. And he knows. He said, I got to speed it up. I need to learn it quickly. I got to start now because Shedeur wants to win. And so the development that he would have liked to have gotten, he can't get it. That time is past. It's behind us. It's done. Dylan got all that. They got the best out of Dylan. They didn't get the best out of you. But now, for him to do better than Dylan doesn't require him doing his best. The best that he will become. You just need to, if he can conjure up 250 yards, which I would be willing to accept less than that, but in order for him to take the job, he gonna have to come up with the 250. He probably gonna have to come up with a couple of touchdown passes. In my mind, I want less than 3 sacks, 2 or less, and I don't want you to lose more than 5 yards on the sack. That's the improvement that I want to see. See, I just want to see improvement, and it's unfair that he got to play lights out instead of just showing improvement to be able to continue playing. Although I suspect Jimmy Haslam going to put his foot down on that. I really do, because it's time. The season is running out, and you got to evaluate the boy so you can know what you're going to do in the draft. So I think he will be playing, but everybody else thinks that he won't unless he balls out, because everybody now knows that Kevin Stefanski does not like him. He's not his guy. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm gonna see you in person. Yesterday, somebody said on Twitter that they went ahead and booked them a last-minute trip. They go into the game. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. And then I was like, why you gotta be jealous? Why don't you just go? So, I'm going. I didn't get my usual, I normally go to football games and get seats right on the field. The seats that's the closest to the field. Row 1, but it's not even row 1. There's a row below that. They call them, they have various names for them. Dream seats. That's what they called them at the Carolina Panthers game. I mean, I've gotten them multiple times with the Steelers and now with the Browns. But it's the seats below row 1. They right on the field. That's normally the seat I get. But I was like, I'm doing it last minute, and I don't want to spend too much money. So, and you can't see the field real good from those seats because you're like at ground level with the players. And I always sit on the visitor side because I'm always there with the visitor. So you can't see the field fantastic from there. So that was another reason, because the dream seat only cost $200 more in this case. But I wanted to sit a little higher because this is a real game and I need to be able to see it. Normally I'd be down there because I want to get an autograph. Well, guess what? I have never gotten an autograph. Now, I did get close to Shedeur, and I got pictures posted with him right behind me, and because he hung out with us for I swear it had to be 15 minutes. And it wasn't just us. It was, because he was down at one end, and then he came down to where I was, but I happened to be standing next to his personal quarterback coach. So, I got to be, by him for a long time and just busy snapping away. So, this time, I won't get that, but I will stay late. And if I have the opportunity to upgrade my ticket, like at Carolina, they have a whole section. You buy entry to the section. It's expensive, but you buy entry to the section, and the drinks and the food are all inclusive. And that gets you on the field. So even if your seat is a little bit higher up, when you want to go get a drink, you go down to the ground and you go into the cat cave, I think it's called. And that gives you access to the field level. So if they have something like that, I have decided I will be upgrading to that. Because I actually, I can go down there when I want to, but when I'm watching the game, I'll be up high enough to see it. But I'm expecting Neff the ball. I am. And I've said this before, and I hate it. Whenever there's like those curses, they haven't did such and such in so many years, it turns out to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, you got two things going on with Shedeur. They haven't won an away game, what did they say? In 20 games or something? Was it an away game? I think it was an away game. They haven't won an away game, I think, in 20-something games. I think that's what they said. And for sure, no Cleveland Browns player since 1999 has won their first start. No Cleveland Brown quarterback since 1999, that's when they came back, has won their first starting game. So, we need Shedeur to break that. I don't need him to break it to get the job. Many people think that he needs to win to get the job. No, I think Haslam's putting his foot down on that. And all the heat that Stefanski has taken, I think he may come off of his stance, his I'm keeping Shedeur off the field at all costs stance. Plus, they got a lot of home games coming down the stretch, and no matter what Shedeur said, they gonna boo Dylan. So, I think Shedeur will be playing going forward. That's my prediction. But I want them to win this game. I want them to have enough pride, the O-line and the wide receivers, to win this game. That's what I expect. Now, on to Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy did a presser 2 days ago. Tuesday. I guess it was Tuesday, because they said they tried to put a correlation. Some of the more scandalous media. It didn't even really go viral, the situation, but it got some coverage. And some of the media tried to say that his presser, after he learned that Shedeur was going to be QB1, he was short with the media. He was answering their questions. It was clear that he was upset. He seemed angry. We don't know what he was angry about, because those guys got to go out there and do that presser no matter how they feel. But he was angry about something from Jump Street. First question. And he's answering 1 and 2 word, 1 sentence answers. But he said multiple times in that presser, he needs reps. The answer to the question was reps. Yeah, that's going to take reps. I think he said that at least 3 times as the answer to their question. So, I get the impression, I said before in previous videos, other players kind of betray a little bit that they rooting for Shedeur to be QB1 in their pressers. But Jeudy was always political. He wasn't one like that. Seemed to me, he tired of being politically correct. And that's why he kept saying he needs reps. So, I don't know what we can expect from Shedeur with 1 week of practice with guys, when in his normal process, he would have had weeks to work with these guys, with the whole offense. And then he would, in addition to that, work with his wide receivers separately in their off time. Now, I know while Stefanski been refusing to give him reps, they've been having hungry dog sessions that ain't good for nothing. It's a bunch of rookies playing together. Rookies and practice squad players. That's who's doing it. steel sharpens steel. So if you're steel and you practicing with paper towels, you ain't getting sharp. Now Shedeur can sharpen them to a certain extent. They're practice squad guys for a reason. So he needs to be having those hungry dog sessions now with the ones and the twos. That's what they need. They need that. But Shedeur is not QB1. He's starting this week as the backup. He is QB2. He doesn't have any power to tell those guys to do anything. Because it seemed to me like he should have been already doing it with, like, at least Isaiah Bond, because he's a rookie. You might have some pull with a rookie. But those vets, he needs to be QB1 for that. But I don't know what Judy was mad about, but he was hell-bent on getting the message out that Shedeur needs reps. Seemed to me like he would be willing to work with Shedeur. I hope Shedeur asked him. But that was it, guys. You know, since my video got deleted, I at least wanted to cover that. And I might try to maybe go live from the game, but unless they got Wi-Fi in there, I always find that at games, the internet connection is not great. Just like at concerts. They need to fix that. That's what I find. And the worse the connection, the worse my live is going to be. Even if it records well, it's going to not upload well. So, I may record a video at the game, but not go live. Or if I go live, not post it. I'll see how their internet connection is, because from what I understand, it's an indoor facility. It's not exposed to the elements. And so maybe in that situation, you can, you know, wire it properly so that we can get in a good internet signal. So we'll see. That's that. Happy Friday. Thanks for listening. As always, I appreciate you guys. Please don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. And if I don't speak to you again, tune in if you can and support Neth. I'll see you on the other side for sure. Mwah.